Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new box office breakdown show here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinenberg. Today, we're breaking down Barbenheimer and this past weekend's domestic box office, July 21st to July 23rd. Also, looking up the 2023 domestic and worldwide numbers. If you're new to my box office breakdown show, welcome. Please click that subscribe button and ring that bell so you're notified when new videos drop. I do this show every single Monday, as well as other movie reviews, TV show reviews, and movie rankings. So please subscribe, ring the bell, comment down below. What was your viewing experience like for Barbenheimer? Did you see both this weekend? Did you do a double feature? Did you just see one? Are you waiting for one just to be at home? Tell me about your thoughts on the state of the box office after this past weekend. All your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, please like the video, the thumbs up button. So you can tell my intro is quicker than usual because I want to get into the numbers right now. So let's start off with the domestic weekend of Barbenheimer. And clearly a number one was Barbie from Warner Brothers Discovery. It was estimated to get 155 on Sunday. And on its final numbers, Barbie got 162 million domestically. It is by far and away the biggest opening of the year here in the United States, Canada area domestic. Huge win for Warner Brothers Discovery, who last month had probably their biggest big flop in the history of the studio in The Flash. And this is going to be one of their biggest, most successful movies of their history, with Barbie coming 1 month after The Flash. Just a tremendous win for every single person involved. And remember, from Warner Brothers' perspective, the only reason why Barbie was put to release the same day as Oppenheimer was because Chris Nolan left Warner Brothers for Universal, and this is a Warner Brothers kind of flipping off Christopher Nolan by putting Barbie against Oppenheimer. And what it turned out to be is a beautiful competition, which led to both movies really succeeding at the box office. Now, I don't really know if both movies would have been as successful if the online, again, yes, both movies did a lot of advertisement, a lot of promotion, but the internet did a lot of the promotion itself. With the Barbenheimer things, asking all of the actors and directors if they're going to see the other movie. This has been a thing brewing for months, and not because the studios promoted it like that, but because fans promoted the movies like that. And it's a very fascinating thing, but it's a big win all the way around for Barbie. This is the biggest opening ever for a female-directed movie. A huge win for Greta Gerwig, as her previous two films were kind of indie-type movies, with Lady Bird and Little Women. While they did very well during awards season, getting nominations, those movies don't do great at the box office. A huge win for her. She's now moving on, at least for now, to Netflix to make some Narnia movies. But we'll see if now other studios, including Warner Brothers, want to snatch her up for big movies down the line. But I think the big is obviously, Greta Gerwig is obviously a huge winner, but another huge winner is for Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, who have been known as top movie stars, even though they have not drawn really anything major at the box office in both of their careers. Birds of Prey, even The Suicide Squad really didn't do well. Margot Robbie's career choices the last couple of years in movies have not been great, which has been leading to have been bad movies, which has been leading to bad box office. And Ryan Gosling has been struggling for a long time to be a for real movie star his name alone can get people into the movie theater. Blade Runner 2049 totally bombed. The Nice Guys totally bombed. There have been other instances for both actors where they've been in movies that people adore that just bombed at the box office with them being the lead character. So I think it's a big win overall for both lead actors, because obviously now Ken's getting a lot of the attention, but still a huge win for Margot Robbie, who isn't just Barbie in the movie, but she's also one of the head creatives of the project, with being a producer on the film. So a monster win for both characters. We'll see what this does for awards season, and how quickly will Warner Brothers Discovery want to get either a sequel or a Ken spinoff underway. But overall, a monster weekend for Warner Brothers Discovery, and a huge win for Barbie. In second place, of course, was Oppenheimer from Universal. It got $82.4 million this past weekend at the domestic box office. Another huge win for Nolan, one of his biggest movies opening outside of his Batman trilogy. And again, this is a movie that who knows how it would open if it was by itself and not going up against Barbie. We always question Cillian Murphy. Was he a guy who would buy tickets? But you can clearly tell that the name Chris Nolan is bigger than any of the all-star static cast that he got for Oppenheimer. He is one of those directors where people will go to the movie theater to see his movies, especially people in my demographic. People from 1824 actually really did show up, not just for both movies, but especially for Oppenheimer. And I think that has a lot to do with him making those Batman movies in my generation growing up, and him being our favorite director of our childhood with, the Batman trilogy, Inception, all these different things. Oppenheimer did really well. It's a big win also, as I said, for Cillian Murphy, who has not been, this is obviously his biggest role of his career, has not been put in the spotlight for this big of a project of his career. So we'll see if this lands Murphy more leading roles in Hollywood. Again, this is the 6th time he has worked with Nolan, and it's been over a 20-year period he's worked with Nolan. Nolan's always given him these really good, captivating side characters, but finally let him get a taste of the lead acting spotlight, and that worked. So this movie did also, again, both movies also, Oppenheimer and Barbie, A cinema score, really good audience scores for both movies, and also really good critic scores for both movies. Now, again, we're not really going to know how good these movies actually really do until we get their second, third weekend drops. Oppenheimer is the most up in the air with its drops because, again, first of all, it's not a comedy. It's not a fun movie. It's a slow 3-hour film. So we'll see if there is rewatchability for Oppenheimer. I think there's much more rewatchability based on what fans are saying for Barbie than there is for Oppenheimer. Now, I could be wrong. Oppenheimer could do amazing again next weekend. We'll see, because a lot of IMAX showings were sold out for both movies the past weekend, so we'll see if that continues. But what a weekend for the box office. Both movies succeeding. We finally get time. We don't really need to banter and hate on movies. I know a lot of people trying to do that for Barbie, but it's a great weekend for the box office overall. Another big shocker is that Sound of Freedom only dropped 27% in its third weekend. It made another $19.8 million. As I said, it's at number 3. So already has leaped Mission Impossible. Not just has it leaped Mission Impossible, even though it's been in theaters for one more weekend, but it does have slightly more money domestically. 124 domestically now for Sound of Freedom from Angel Studios. It gained another 20 theaters this past weekend. It is in the know-how. And even if and I sometimes will believe that the churches, you've heard reports of just buying out movie theaters. It looks like the goal of this movie was just to be in the know-how and to be in everyone's topic in Hollywood. And I think it accomplished that. So Sound of Freedom is at number 3. Don't want to get into the politics or anything like that. Just wanted to bring that up as we move forward. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is by far the biggest loser of this top 5 of the past, really top 4 of the weekend, dropping 65% in its second weekend, $19.3 million. So it was $500,000 short of Sound of Freedom. It's now up to $118.6 million. We've been hearing for months that Tom Cruise wanted to extend Dead Reckoning Part 1's IMAX showings. He didn't really like that Oppenheimer would be keeping them for 3 weeks, but it does not seem like that will ever happen. Tom Cruise was certainly the biggest winner of the movie industry and the box office last year with how successful Top Gun Maverick was, but he could not repeat that with Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. I also think with Barbie and Oppenheimer, it really does show you that people want original movies, and they might feel like blockbusters, but this summer has been filled with franchises that are 5, 7, 10 movies deep. And I think people are just tired of these franchises continuing to go on. And I've been saying that I've been complaining about all these original movies not doing well, but Barbie and Oppenheimer, Super Mario Bros., big success stories this year, not franchise films, not second or third or even fourth films into a franchise. So we'll see. Again, they're already 40% done shooting Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 2. And it is supposed to be the last film for Tom Cruise in this franchise. So probably just get that one done. And then we'll see what Tom Cruise does after that. But still disappointing for Dead Reckoning Part 1. And then Indy 5, Indiana Jones and Destiny, finishes at number 5, $6.6 million. In its fourth weekend, another drop of 46%. It's now up to 158 domestic. Again, just a total mistake for Lucasfilm and Disney. When we get to the overall numbers now for the domestic year, Super Mario's at number 1 with 574. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is at number 2 with 375. Guardians Volume 3 is at 358. Wrapping up the top 10, you have Little Mermaid at 4. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania at 5, John Wick Chapter 4 at 6. In just one weekend, Barbie is the 7th biggest movie of the year domestically. In just one weekend, it's already passed Indiana Jones's entire run. Barbie right now is currently $25 million away from passing John Wick, which it will. So it probably will get into the top 5 domestic in just 2 weekends. So Creed 3 is at number 9, and then Transformers: Rise of the Beast is at number 10. Other $100 million films this year domestically is Fast X, Elemental, Sound of Freedom, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, Scream 6, and The Flash. So now 16 movies over $100 million, and we have 3 movies over $300 million. But I think Barbie could really get to that point as well. And we look at the worldwide numbers. Super Mario, still biggest movie of the year, $1.3 billion. Universal's had a really good stretch this year, this and Oppenheimer. We'll see if that continues as well. Guardians Volume 3 is number 2 with 837 worldwide. Fast X is number 3 worldwide with 718. And number 4 is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, that's made 675 worldwide. Little Mermaid at 7 with $548 million worldwide. Quantumania is number 9 with 463, and John Wick Chapter 4 hanging in the top 10 worldwide with 432. Again, Barbie did open to 356 worldwide, so it's already number 13. So it needs around 80,000 or so to get into the top 10, 80 million, and I think it probably will do so this weekend. So this could be a fun thing to track. Both Barbie and Oppenheimer could be fun movies to track over the weeks to come. There's still new movies now hitting theaters this upcoming weekend. 2 films. We have Talk to Me from A24. That's getting a lot of good positive buzz from its early reviews. And then the biggest movie of the weekend, of course, is Haunted Mansion from Disney. This was supposed to be the spot where The Marvels was going to come out this year, but due to reshoots, The Marvels could not get to this release date. It moved to November, while Haunted Mansion was supposed to be around October time, but they flip-flopped with The Marvels. So now it is Haunted Mansion coming out this weekend. Reviews have not been that positive for this movie. And Disney has had a bit of a roller coaster of a year, really not a good one. So will Haunted Mansion make a big enough dent in the box office, or are we still on the Barbenheimer train as we move forward? So that's my box office breakdown show. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys soon.